Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a real versus fake comparison on the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina palette. So if you guys are interested in seeing my comparison, then just keep on watching. So per usual, I do like to start comparing the packaging. So on the right, I have the real palette, and on the left, I have the fake one. And the very first obvious difference right here is the color of the palettes. So the real one is more of a light pastel-y purple, and then the fake one is more of a deep, rich plum color. So that would be your first indicator. Now, they both say Norvina and they both have the Anastasia Beverly Hills logo on it. The only difference that I find with the font is with the actual logo. The logo on the real palette is raised just a little bit so I can actually feel the font on the box, and the fake one you cannot. It's just printed on there, even though both of them are gold. So now moving on to the back. So at first glance, the palettes look very similar aside from the difference in color. Now, when you pay attention to the close-up of this picture right here, you can see that on the picture of the palette right there, the picture on the real palette looks more focused and sharp, and the picture on the fake one seems a little bit washed out and even blurry. So that's just a big difference in the print. And then you'll also notice that the barcodes are a little bit different, not only in size, but also the numbers. So if you pay close attention, the last two numbers of the barcode do not match. Now, bringing you guys a little bit closer to the bottom of the palette, I have the fake one on top and the real one on the bottom. So I'm going to start by showing you guys the left hand side of the palettes. So as you guys can see, the real palette has the Anastasia Beverly Hills logo stamp on it, and the fake one has a serial number in that area. Now, more towards the center, you can see that they both say distributed by Anastasia Beverly Hills, just that they are placed a little bit different on the palette here. And then also the real palette does say dermatologist tested, as where the fake one does not. And now looking at the icons towards the right, you can see that the cruelty-free sign is placed differently on both palettes, and then the very last icon, which states when you should actually toss out your palette. The real palette says 18 months and the fake one says 6. Now, on this side of the palette, there is a lot of similarities when it comes to the ingredients of the palettes, but I do want to point out the very first sentence on each palette. On the real palette, it says Norvina's go-to eyeshadow palette, and then on the fake one, it says an essential eyeshadow collection. So just the only thing that I really want to point out here, and now I'm going to move on to the sides. Now, other than the difference in color, I do want to point out that there is a slight difference in the sizes of these palettes. The real one is a little bit bigger than the fake one. And then when I open up the boxes, you guys can see that there is an extra flap to help open the boxes on the real one that the fake one does not have. And now here are the actual palettes themselves. So again, there is a difference in color. They both say Norvina, and they both have the Anastasia Beverly Hills logo on it. So very first thing I want to point out is the difference in the position of where it says Norvina. The real palette does have the font aligned more towards the center of the palette, and the fake one is a little bit higher. And now for the texture, they both actually have the exact same soft velvety finish. And then to the sides, the only difference here aside from the color is the size. The real one is again a little bit bigger than the fake one. And then you guys can see that the real palette does have an additional rim that makes the palette a little bit bulkier. And now here at the bottom, a new difference would be the ribbon that the real palette has. That essentially helps you open the palette and also take out the brush, and then the fake one does not have it. And now moving on to the back. So here the palettes are completely different. The fake one has everything printed basically the exact same that they have on the actual box, with the exception that it does say Norvina on the upper left hand corner. But as far as the real palette, everything's a lot more condensed. It says where it's distributed, where it is made, and then it also has the main icons on the bottom. But one thing that I do want you guys to focus on here is the actual serial number. So they do have the serial number pretty much embossed on the actual sticker, and it is the exact same number that is on the box. So you always want to make sure that both of those numbers match when you're making sure that your palette is real. And now here are the palettes opened up. Very similar at first glance, but I'm gonna go ahead and start by comparing the mirrors. So the real palette has a plastic protector on top of the mirror, and it does have a Anastasia print on the center. And then right under the mirrors, they both have the Anastasia Beverly Hills print on them, both in gold. And then I'm not sure how well you guys are able to tell, but the real palette does have an evenly flushed mirror, as to where the fake one, you can see the trim around where the mirror ends. And then you can also see that there is an indentation on the bottom left hand corner of the fake palette. Now for the shadows, both of the palettes come with a plastic that protects the eyeshadows. And as you can see, the real one has this smooth, even plastic protecting every eyeshadow, and then the fake one has a plastic that's a lot thinner than the real one, and it also seems like the plastic maybe melted a little bit, just because you can see the shape of each eyeshadow. And now here are the eyeshadows without any plastic. To me, the eyeshadows look pretty spot on. Some of them are a little bit lighter than others, and the only shade that I would say looks completely different would be Drama, which is the one in the top left hand corner. And this is also a shade where the fake palette misspelled Drama. Instead of Drama, it is spelled D-E-A-M-A. Now before I get to swatches, I just want to show you guys the brushes. I have the real on the right and the fake on the left, and the very first thing you can tell by just looking at them is that they are completely different bristles. They have a different color, and the real one actually has longer bristles than the fake one. And then for the logo, the real one just says Anastasia Beverly Hills, and then the fake one has the font slightly different, but they also included the stamp, so that is definitely different than the real one. And now here is the other side. This side is very similar. The only thing is that I feel personally that there is less hair on the fake one than on the real one. The real one just to me feels more dense, but those are the brushes. And now for swatches, I have all of the real swatches on my right arm and all the fake ones on my left. Now the first thing I want to mention is that the real eyeshadows are very pigmented. And as far as the formula, both of them are very smooth, but the real formula is a lot more buttery, and it almost feels like the eyeshadow is wet when I first felt it on my finger. So they definitely pick up a lot more product and are way more pigmented than the fake ones. And then very similar with the matte shades as well. The real ones were very buttery, and the fake ones seemed a little bit more on the chalkier side. It was actually really hard to pick up pigment on those, but here are the swatches. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. I really hope you guys liked it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, and let me know in the comment section down below what other real versus fake comparisons you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys in my next video.